Lesson number 8. Do not let your heart's desire become a heart's disease. Every test is a process of purification. Many people do not receive their heart's desire because they desire it too intensely. They are longing for it instead of feeling they have already received it. If you believed that before you called you were answered, then you would be quite free from worry and anxiety and live joyfully in the moment. When you can be happy with or without your heart's desire, it will suddenly appear, for your ship will come in over a don't care sea. Be happy and something will happen. Feel rich and riches will manifest on the external. All suffering is a spiritual alarm clock. You have been asleep about something. Perhaps you have been unjust, unforgiving, ungrateful, critical, or intolerant. Perhaps you were afraid to follow an intuitive lead. Suddenly the karmic factories begin working, for the way of the transgressor is hard. For example, you have condemned someone, and now someone condemns you. You were unjust. Someone is now unjust to you. You were intolerant. Someone is intolerant toward you, etc. You are now awake, and instead of blaming people or circumstances for your unhappiness, you look back to see why you attracted the situation. Someone you disliked harmed you, but you gave that person power to hurt you because you withheld love and goodwill. Your own poisoned arrows have returned to you. Now call on the law of forgiveness and affirm the statement, I call on the law of forgiveness. I am free from mistakes. I am under grace and not under karmic law. Forgive the person or persons who have harmed you, sending love and goodwill, saying, I forgive them. Then, like a kaleidoscope, the whole situation changes, for love is the fulfilling of the law. Your seeming enemies are transmuted into friends, and consciously or unconsciously serve the divine plan of your life. One learns tolerance through suffering. If your unhappy experiences make you bitter and resentful, you will attract more of the same variety. Make the most of your karma so that the experiences will not be repeated. The fear of the law is the beginning of wisdom. I was in the toy department of a crowded shop one day, and a little boy was standing in front of a huge bear, which moved its head up and down and looked quite ferocious. A stranger leaned over and asked, Little boy, aren't you afraid of that big bear? He replied, No, ma'am, bears don't bite good little boys. He had a clear conscience and was unafraid. To receive the desire of the heart, all karma must be wiped out, as well as anxiety, impatience, and fear. We are told to wait patiently on the law. Patience means non-resistance. Practice non-resistance on the law, and it will bring your desire to pass. I heard a man say, The good Lord takes his time. He's the one man you can't hurry. It came to me as a direct message, for I had been impatient and was trying to force a demonstration. I suddenly realized that the more patient, non-resistant I was, the quicker the universe could work. Soon the demonstration came in over a calm sea. People so often keep back a demonstration of their good by outlining the channels. Happy is the man who believes that infinite intelligence knows the way of fulfillment. For example, a woman had a business enterprise she wished to develop. She tried every avenue she could think of, but no one was interested enough to help her. She became non-resistant and put it in the universe's hands, saying, I'll let the universe attend to this. I let go. She was visiting in a distant city and met a woman, seemingly quite by chance, who asked her if she might carry out the enterprise. The universe is eternal, reliable, and unchangeable, but must be given the right of way. Personal will keeps you out of your own kingdom. For example, a friend came to me saying she would be obliged to sell a piece of jewelry in order to have ready cash. She did not want to sell it and regretted that it was necessary to do so. I said, Why, this pin isn't your pin. It is the Divine Spirit's pin. We now place it upon the altar. If it is Spirit's will, you will sell it. If not, you will receive the money in some other way. A few days later, she telephoned and said, I didn't have to sell the pin. I received an unexpected check that supplied the money I needed. She had applied this wonderful law of renunciation, which is so difficult for many people to understand. The desire of the heart can only be attained through non-resistance. For example, one of my students said that the man she cared for was very cruel and indifferent. She was looking forward to spending New Year's Eve with him when he suddenly announced that he had another engagement for the night. She was shedding tears of anger and resentment. I said, "You are completely demagnetized, therefore you are pushing your good away from you. When you see him, don't be angry and reproachful. Bless him and say that you wish him a happy evening." She did this much to his surprise. He couldn't understand her change in attitude. The following day, he called her on the telephone and asked her if he might spend New Year's Eve with her. There was nothing more said about his former plans. At one of my meetings at the Unity Society, I gave the following treatment to dissolve all anger and resentment. The light of infinite intelligence streams through your consciousness, dissolving and dissipating all anger and resentment. You are at peace with yourself and with the whole world. A woman told me after the meeting that she was enveloped in a blazing light which swept all discord from her consciousness forever. She said, "When you were speaking, I realized I had lost everything I ever loved through anger. But now I feel that I can never be angry again. It was a most wonderful experience." Many people think that if they control their temper or not show anger, it is enough. This is not the case. The vibration goes out just the same. As long as you can be moved inwardly, there will be discord in your life. You must be cleansed to be free from anger and the effects of anger. Don't let appearances rock your boat. I had a patient who once said, "I should have been mad, but I wasn't. I should have been afraid, but I wasn't." This showed spiritual growth. In your subconscious are the negative tidbits and beliefs impressed upon it from your many life experiences. Thus, it must be renewed by flooding it with the perfect ideas of the superconscious, your divine self. Love and goodwill to all is the goal. I knew a man who said, "Of course I love everybody, but there are a lot of people I don't like." I replied, "No, you still have some spots of ill will in your consciousness. You will have to be sent back to the cleaners." Every test is a process of purification. When we are unmoved by them, we won't attract them. I have a friend who says that whenever she needs money, she takes a taxi cab to make herself feel rich. One stormy and slushy day, she had a definite lead to take a taxi. She told me, "I argued with my rich Heavenly Father and said, 'God, I would rather save the dollar and take the subway.' So I had my way and took the subway, but when I reached home, I found that I had lost $1. The most expensive thing you can do is to violate a hunch. If money is not used for the right purposes, it will go in some uninteresting or unhappy way. The minute you make your demand, Infinite Spirit knows the way of fulfillment. Only doubt, fear, or reasoning keeps away your good. Live fully in the wonderful now with joyful expectance, knowing that God is the how, God is the when, and God is the where. You must answer each negative thought with a word of authority. If you entertain them or give them attention, the army of aliens will encamp in your consciousness. Your doubts and fears and resentments will settle down to stay, bringing a harvest of misfortune. A good affirmation is, "As I am one with the all-powerful Spirit, I am one with my good, for Spirit is my good in immediate action." Your blessing is already there waiting for you to believe it is possible to accomplish. Sometimes a demonstration comes to pass through a counter-irritant. A student told me she had wanted a certain business enterprise to be a success. She agonized and fretted over it. Then something else came into her life to worry her, which took her thoughts completely off the business. She forgot to worry about it. Suddenly, she had a telephone message saying the deal had gone over, followed by a large check. She had shifted her worry thoughts long enough for the deal to go through. When you have completely put to flight your worries, there will be nothing to interfere with the immediate manifestation of every good and perfect gift, for your heart's desire is no longer a heart's disease. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Psalm 23.